around. Um, but I mean, it's kind of weird that they have a baseball in general going to a place where cricket seems to be the majority over there. So I don't know how it's going to roll. I know, guys, they do have NFL football over there. We do know that. I think there's going to be 4 NFL games in London this year. So they have been going to play football in it. So maybe they're trying to expand baseball over there. I don't know. We'll have to see, over the next couple days how baseball works. I don't know. To me personally, I don't really know how that's going to work. Um, how that's going to play out, but we'll have to see. Maybe surprise. We'll get a surprise, and they'll absolutely sell out both games, and they'll love baseball. And then next thing we know, we'll have games in London in Major League Baseball. We'll have to move some of their games to London. That's the way it goes. I know they played in Puerto Rico. I know they played in Mexico. So I'm assuming, again, they already play in Canada with the Toronto Blue Jays. And if the Rays return to Montreal, it'll be another, Canadian team as well. So I guess they're trying to expand overseas to England and play, in England. I guess that seems to be the next destination. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? Would you guys want to have, your team um, over playing games in London and not being at home? I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, it's one of the 30 teams. You're going to lose 2 home games because it's overseas. I mean, to me, I don't know. I wouldn't, as if I was I'm a baseball fan, but if I was a season ticket holder, I know there's 81 home games and it wouldn't matter because you'd only be losing, say, 2 or 3. But would you want your team, because once they go over there and say, just like in football, it seems to be getting more popular every year because it started off with 1 game, then it was 2 games, now it's 4 games over there. So after a while, you have to say to yourself, is baseball going to do the same thing? We'll have to wait and see, guys. I mean, that's interesting. I still don't get the whole thing because, again, it's more of a cricket country, but maybe baseball can work. Maybe it can work. I don't. I really honestly don't know. But it would be interesting, to say the least, if baseball does seem to work there. That I don't know. I really honestly don't know how baseball is going to work. But again, we'll have to wait and see over the next 2 days. Again, guys, thank you guys for holding on there. I know a lot of my viewers and callers are here to hear the great Vaughn Allen. He will be on here in about 12 minutes. So I'll guarantee, again, I'll try to get you guys on while he's on here. But again, that with U.S. women's soccer and the Yankees and Red Sox, tell me how you guys feel about that moving forward. Like I said, guys, I did want to go in. I want to kind of save the Rays topic to the end of the show because it's a big, long one, and I don't really, I want to try to make sure I have enough time to talk to Mr. Vaughn Allen as well. So there were 2 other topics, guys, I was going to get into this evening, and the NBA draft just happened last week. Of course, we all know Zion Williamson went number 1 overall to the New Orleans Pelicans. And on down the line, R.J. Barrett went to the Knicks. I don't know if you guys, and I know my man Lewis will vouch for this one. If you guys haven't had a chance, I know this video is kind of old, but since a lot of people are on here on YouTube, go to Stephen A. Smith's show, type in NBA draft, and listen to his 24-minute rant about how the New York Knicks didn't get the number 1 overall pick. I don't know, guys, if it is an act or if it's raw emotion or it's a combination of both, because he's very riled up about it. He makes some valid points in it. I don't know if his employer, ESPN, was trying to get him riled up. I took a chance to listen to it today before I came, as I was getting my notes ready to go for tonight. And I said, I have to watch that because I'm going to be talking about the draft. And he was quoting that the reason that New York needed Zion is it would be another reason for people to ascend to Madison Square Garden. It would make the Knicks relevant again, that they haven't been relevant for a while. They drafted R.J. Barrett, who will definitely be a good piece to build around out of Duke. So it will be great. I don't know what the status is. I know Kevin Durant opted out of his player option with the Warriors. That's got to be good news for the Knicks because he said he was going to be a Knick. As far as Kyrie Irving goes, it looks like from what I've been reading and the rumors that have been flying around, it seems like to me that he is going to end up in Brooklyn with the Nets. It seems like that seems to be his destination. I don't know offhand if that's going to happen. Maybe he does become a Knick, and maybe they can have, R.J. Barrett, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving as their starting three. That would definitely bring the Knicks back. If you guys have not heard too, the Lakers have cleared, roster spots to sign a max player. Could KD be going there? They picked up Anthony Davis. The Pelicans have, cleared picks from here now until 2025. Or I read an article on BleacherReport.com about that today. They've got picks out the wazoo for the next 6-7 years. So that's going to be interesting to see how the Pelicans play it out the next few years. Obviously, they're going to build around Zion. As we know, that's who they drafted number 1 overall. So we'll have to take a look at that moving forward. The next thing, guys, I wanted to get in on is the NHL draft. Now, that happened again last week as well. And if you guys didn't catch the NHL awards, I know the NBA awards were the other night as well, and they awarded the MVP to Giannis from Milwaukee. I thought severely, guys, it was going to go to James Harden. That was just my opinion, but Giannis got it. Congratulations to the guys that won their awards. Congratulations again to the Toronto Raptors and the St. Louis Blues on winning their respective league championships. Congratulations to both of those franchises. Not really anything surprisingly in the NHL, guys. I mean, the Devils drafted who we thought they were all going to draft. The Rangers got Zuko. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how these young guys come up. My team, the Lightning, did pretty well. We got a B+ grade from the draft. So that was cool because of what happened during our season. And again, I hate guys to beat a dead horse. But the fact of the matter is that the Lightning were the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. We got swept in the first round by the Columbus Blue Jackets, so that ruined that. We go into the offseason. Now we cleared some cap space. We got rid of JT Miller. We traded him away. So that was a good way to free up some cap room. We haven't signed Braden Point yet. Joe Pavelski has come here to visit. So we don't know what's, brewing here. But as far as the Lightning go, and as me being a fan of Tampa Bay, we can't go into the season with the same team we had a year ago because it didn't work. We have to be able to clear and get some new players here, because if we don't, it could be the same results as it was last year. And I don't know if we'll win as many games as we did last year. I mean, we won 64 games a year ago, and I don't know if we'll win 64 games again this year. So, it will have to be we'll have to wait and see how it goes down. But I mean, they did re-sign John Cooper to an extension. I don't know if that was a right move by Julien Brisebois, because if, in my opinion as a fan, and I know there are fans out there, that probably would disagree when I say this, and I don't mean any disrespect to the Lightning. They are my favorite sports franchise out of anybody. But is John Cooper on a short leash, guys? He has to be somewhat, because he seems to be like the Tony Dungy. Like, Tony got him to the big game, gets him to the championship. And yes, I know they've gone to the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost to the Blackhawks. I know that he's gotten them to the championship game. But we haven't won a Stanley Cup with him as a coach. So is it time to possibly maybe make a change if they don't get to me, they have to at least get out of the first round of the playoffs, because if they get swept again in the first round this upcoming year, it's not going to be good, guys. And remember now, next year in 2020, we have the expansion draft, because we have the Seattle team coming in, and the only team that's exempt from that expansion with the 2 players from each team is the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They're the only team that's exempt from that, but everyone else now, the Seattle franchise, which has yet to be named, I have heard rumors that they could be called the Kraken. I'm not really sure yet. Again, I will have to wait and see how that all, boils down to it. But moving forward, it's going to be interesting, as far as the Lightning going into this upcoming year, because I think the fans kind of have a sour taste in their mouth, and they want to come out and win right away. I mean, Andrei Vasilevsky won the Vezina Trophy. Nikita Kucherov, he won the league MVP, and he also won I can't think of the trophy now. Sorry, guys, blank there. He also won player MVP, where the players voted on him as well. So he, as they did pretty well. The only one award that I kind of was questioning was, and my best friend, who's a big hockey fan like I am, kind of put it in perspective, was Coach of the Year. Now, I thought sure that Craig Berube from the St. Louis Blues, who they won the Stanley Cup, would have easily won that award. And unfortunately, Barry Trotz, I shouldn't say unfortunately, let me repeat that, that Barry Trotz won it from the New York Islanders. So the question is, Berube did not start the season off as the head coach of the Blues. He did. My friend did say that to me. He's like, remember, he didn't start off as the head coach, where Trotz started the whole season. Trotz guys got fired after winning the Stanley Cup in Washington. That's amazing that you get fired after winning probably the most prestigious trophy in all of sports, as hockey fans will say. Now, anybody that's not a hockey fan would say, well, no, that's not true. It's a World Series. It's winning the Super Bowl. It's winning the World Cup. It's winning the NASCAR championship. Whoever you cheer for, whoever you pull for, or winning Premier League championship, or winning a gold medal, something like that would be something. But in hockey, that's the holy grail, to win the Stanley Cup. And he came in. The Islanders got better. They had 23 more points this year than they did the year before he got there. They were one of the best defensive teams in all of the league. I really honestly penciled them in to be the Eastern Conference representative after they defeated the Penguins, and unfortunately they didn't get to that point. So it is what it is. They got swept by the Carolina Hurricanes, who went on to the Eastern Conference Final. To play the Bruins. So, I mean, it ended up being that way. So, retrospect would say, coming into next season, it's going to be interesting to see how the Lightning go and how everybody plays itself out. Because Boston was right there. They lost in Game 7. So, they're going to be back. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out next season. Okay, guys. Well, it is 8:30.